The unbelievable happened. After Total WoW, Blizzard went after Project Ascension. I was just out with my wife and my son when I read it, and I went home to make this video. Blizzard just filed suit against the people behind Project Ascension, the largest custom World of Warcraft server out there, a project that advertised over 1 million players. And this is not the same kind of takedown Total WoW got. This is a 9-count federal complaint, copyright trademark, and even racketeering charges, naming 9 real people by their real names. We have 2 RICO counts, and most surprisingly, it's not because of Project Epoch. I read the full court filing, and I will tell you everything we know right now, as well as my opinion about it and if it's really the end of Ascension. Let's get into it. The official end of Total WoW happened 1 month ago. Only 1 month later, on the 12th of June, yesterday, Blizzard filed the next case in court against the biggest private server out there, Project Ascension. Ascension servers are running for over 8 years now. They have different classless servers, their own versions of Classic Plus with Bronzebeard and Project Epoch, and just recently released their beta version of a complete new version of World of Warcraft, Conquest of Azeroth. Especially the Classic Plus version and the monetization of it are probably the important part here. The main reason Blizzard was able to go after Total WoW was the fact of monetization of their game with stolen assets from Blizzard. The copyright infringement were the main argument in court against Total WoW, and this seems to happen again. Activision Blizzard is working on their own version of Classic Plus right now and probably will release it at the end of the year, though they want to remove competitors. Project Ascension removed the shop from Project Epoch to not get targeted by Blizzard with foresight, but they didn't do it for Bronzebeard. This court filing lands right after Blizzard forced Total WoW to shut down and right after Project Epoch got hit with a cease and desist too. We are watching a pattern in real time here. So why is the Ascension case different from all the others? That's where it gets legally complicated. Here's what's actually in the document. The case is Blizzard Entertainment versus Powell and others, the main persons behind Project Ascension, filed in June 12, 2026 in the Central District of California. Blizzard brought in the same firm that handles the heavy IP cases in the past. And the first thing that jumps out, this complaint names 9 individuals. According to the filing, the 2 people Blizzard calls the operators and masterminds of Project Ascension are Derek Powell out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Brian Mannion out of Akron, Ohio. The complaint says they run everything: the development, the finances, the marketing, the donations. Then it names the rest of the alleged team by role: a senior game master in Texas, a creative team member in California, custom systems and code developers spread across Arizona, San Francisco, and even Sydney, Australia. Blizzard lists their community handles right next to their legal names. The core accusation is straightforward. Blizzard says the team took the entire WoW client, modified it, wiped out the security checks that stops the game from connecting to anything but Blizzard's own servers, and then handed that modified client to millions of people through their launcher. So we know this is true. Ascension servers are built on Blizzard's IP, but no one expected the Ascension team to sit in America. This makes them absolutely defenseless against Blizzard's court. The community always thought the servers are in Russia and Blizzard can't touch them. Well, that's part of the truth. Let's continue, because here is where it gets heavier. Blizzard didn't just file for copyright. They added once again a RICO claim. That's the racketeering statute, the one usually associated with organized crime. The argument is that the defendants run a coordinated for-profit enterprise for at least 5 years and that they should be liable jointly for the whole operation. But let me explain why they can even use RICO here once again. You can't call something racketeering just because of one bad act. The law needs a pattern, at least 2 separate criminal acts. They call them predicate acts, and Blizzard names exactly 2. The first one is trafficking in counterfeit marks. Basically, that Ascension plastered Blizzard's own World of Warcraft logo and trademarks all over their website, their client, and their social media as if it were official. The second one is criminal copyright infringement. Not just copying the game, but doing it willfully and for profit. You take those 2 acts, repeat them over years, And that's the pattern Blizzard uses to turn a normal copyright case into a racketeering case. Now, I want to be fair here, RICO is notoriously hard to actually win. Blizzard alleging it doesn't mean they will get it, but it tells you exactly how hard they are swinging. And on the money, Project Ascension always called itself free-to-play, founded by donations. The complaint pushes back hard on that framing. It says players buy donation points, roughly 50 cents each, to trade for mounts, pets and cosmetics, and that the operators have, quote, made millions of dollars this way, routed through 2 shell companies in Nevada and New Mexico. We knew this already as players, and I told you in the past that Ascension made millions of dollars with their servers. They are not just a small indie dev studio, they are a profitable company by now. This is what made them vulnerable. Then there's the interesting part. The complaint alleges Ascension servers are hosted on bulletproof hosting tied to a Russia-based group called ASA, a group the US Treasury sanctioned in 2025. Blizzard frames that hosting choice as deliberate, a way to dodge takedowns and court orders. Whether that holds up is for the court to decide, but it tells you how aggressively Blizzard is framing this. And here is the final nail in the coffin for Ascension, the true damage. Blizzard is asking for up to $150,000 per copyrighted work infringed, plus penalties per act of circumvention, plus the defendant's profits, plus attorney's fee. When you multiply that across the clients, the expansions, the assets, and millions of downloads, the theoretical number is enormous. And one knock-on effect worth flagging. The complaint goes after the Ascension realms by name: Bronzebeard, Area 52, and the rest. It does not name Project Epoch. So the fact that they didn't monetize Project Epoch anymore were the safe route for the server. What does this mean? Blizzard can't target private servers in the future when they don't monetize with donations? That's something to think about. But before we continue, I want to present to you a new partner on this channel, Into DM. Into DM is a team of American artists and creators who develop clothing since 2012 with a great vision. They see clothing as a canvas to express what drives you. What exactly does that mean? Into DM sells clothes for gamers with unique designs, but they are also great for casual occasions. I was able to pick out a few items from the selection and decided on a snapback cap, this cool black t-shirt with a Japanese design, and a casual white t-shirt with a logo. I will wear the black t-shirt in the summer, and the plain white t-shirt pairs great with sweaters or jackets when I go out with my wife. The clothes are high quality, well designed, and really comfortable. I'm absolutely impressed by their quality. Check out Into DM and use the code WHITER to get 10% off your order. Just click the link in the video description to get to their shop. If you're ordering from Europe, delivery might take a little longer right now due to customs, so please keep that in mind. For my American viewers, there are absolutely no restrictions. Feel free to check Into DM out to get some great new clothes for the summer. Now, let's go back to the video. So let's put all of this together. ThottleWow got a cease and desist and chose to walk away. Project Ascension got a federal lawsuit that names the alleged operators personally, demands the server be shut down, demands every copy handed over, demands a full accounting of the money, and stacks copyright, trademark, and racketeering on top of each other. Here's the line I keep coming back to. ThottleWow was a shutdown. This is way harder and reads like Blizzard trying to make another big example. Same goal as always, clear the field before their own Classic Plus, but a much sharper instrument. I want to be honest about what we actually know here, because a court filing is one side's argument, not a verdict. It is confirmed that Blizzard has filed a 9-count complaint in California, naming both main operators and 7 others. The counts include copyright infringement, a DMCA circumvention claim, false designation of origin, and 2 RICO counts. Blizzard is demanding an injunction and damages. That's all in the public record. We don't know how the defendants will respond, whether Ascension stays online and will fight back, whether they do what so many servers do and come back under a new name, what this means for Project Epoch sitting on the same infrastructure, and honestly, whether every allegation in here, like the Russia hosting, holds up once it's actually litigated. And my own take, I want to look at this from a neutral perspective, like I always try to do. I'm not the biggest fan of Activision Blizzard, but legally, this was always a risk Ascension was sitting on. It's a business for them, the same way WoW is always a business for Blizzard. Building something that good on someone else's game means this day was always on the table. It's super sad to see because it's another really big hit against the private server scene. I love playing on Ascension, and my YouTube channel will also take a big hit when the server dies. But I always know something like this can happen when you play on private servers. I had this back in the day with Elysium and with Duskhaven before, hell, even with Season of Discovery, which is an official version of World of Warcraft. It's something I'm used to nowadays. Nevertheless, I hope Ascension is not giving up and will try to fight back. They have resources to do so, and they could set their own example against Blizzard's action here, but I don't know if they have the courage to do so. What do you think about Blizzard going after Ascension? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like, subscribe and hype this video for more World of Warcraft content in the future. Special thanks goes out to my channel members who support me with their hard-earned real-life money. You guys are just awesome. Also, make sure to check out my partner Into DM for some great clothes for the summer. See you in the next video.